Hi, I'm Caitlin Bolduc, the PR and Communication Manager with Make-A-Wish Oregon. I'm here with our CEO, Layla Cook, and we're here to talk about Make-A-Will March. Layla, it sort of seems like an odd thing to celebrate. Why the emphasis on Make-A-Will March?
So MakeAWill March is a reason to make something that is important, but not usually urgent, have a timeline that makes it more urgent. Because making a will is something that people don't get to. And I think we have discovered time and time again that people die without a will, and it is a hard thing for then your family or your friends to understand what you would have wished for. So we jumped on to this national platform, which is Make a Will Month, and we try to do a few things to help some of our most loyal supporters get their estate plans in order.
When did you make a will yourself?
So interestingly, I truly was in the group of people that waited until someone important to me died without a will. And for me, it was really always waiting for the next big thing. Like, well, I'm just about to get married. I'll make a will after that. Well, I'm just about to have a baby. I'll make a will after that. And you just keep on putting it off. And then I really realized that the most important thing is to start somewhere and put a will together, put your estate plans together, and update it when things change. So either every 5 years or when you have major life changes to make an update.
I think people often think that creating a will is hard, or it's going to be a lot of hard work or a lot of time. What would you say to that?
I mean, it is as complex as your financial picture. So if you are a single person living in an apartment with not a lot of assets, it's super simple. If you have, a 401k, family members, different people you want to provide long-term assistance for, or charitable provisions, it can get increasingly complex with each level you add to it. I also think that kind of goes with the higher the complexity, the bigger the need for a professional to enter the picture.
Sure. So, how did you decide to make a charitable provision yourself for kids in your will?
I think everyone who knows me knows that Make a Wish has become my life's work, and that these kids are my kids, and this is truly the thing that I want to continue on forever and ever. So for me, it was an easy choice to put Make a Wish in my will, but the question became how to best do that. And I did some research and talked to some professionals, and the highest taxed asset you have is your 401k. So I gave my daughter my house and my income, and then 401k money directed to Make a Wish, because then it is also more tax advantageous to the estate in general.
For you, was it sort of important to feel like you were having the control of where your assets go after you die and taking that control early and having a say in it?
So it's super interesting because I love having this conversation with people. We have some donors for whom they have made a long-term commitment to fund wishes of kids who have heart conditions, or kids who wish to go to Disneyland, or kids who love science and dogs. And I love having that conversation because I really think you can directly honor your passion projects past the legacy of your life. But for me, I am kind of a highest and best use person. So I just said, like, whatever the board and staff determines to be the most important need at the time is fine with me. I trust them to make the decision at the time.
So, if somebody's watching this, what would be the first step that they would take to start talking about something like this and involving Make a Wish Oregon?
So it really it spans the gamut. And I would love to have this conversation with anyone, whether or not Make a Wish is a part of the conversation. It has become kind of a big part of my life's work to make sure people are prepared for this important step in their life. And I think it's important enough that I'm willing to talk about it with anyone. And also we have a whole staff here who is pretty well versed in kind of having this conversation. Just give us a call. We'd love to talk to you.
What would this type of gift mean to us as an organization and to the children that we serve?
It is the number one most game changing type of giving. I will say that in my 18 years here, the most transformational gifts have come from realized estates. One of my favorite gifts ever was a $500,000 estate gift about for whom the donor had zero relationship with our organization, had never volunteered, had never given, and their kids had no idea that they were so generous to our kids. We went from it was the year we made the biggest significant leap in the number of wishes we were able to grant, and these are life-changing wishes to these kids. The donors' kids, who are grandparents in their own right, were able to celebrate their parents after they had died. Years later, they got together and did a big celebration for the wish kids, whose wishes we were able to grant in their parents' memory with their gift. And almost all of the kids have in some way or another stayed involved with Make-A-Wish Oregon and feel it's an important part of honoring their parents' legacy to help us carry on with granting wishes. So I love this soul level conversation of who are you and what do you want to be remembered for, and what is the important legacy you're going to leave on this planet. It's such a cool conversation to have. And it's such a cool, big, gigantic, enormous opportunity to live your life's mission forever.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Layla.
Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to talk about it. We want to encourage people to have the conversation.